So yeah, I mean, I if I could do it over again, I wouldn't. And I love GHP, and I had massive, great memories with GHP. But in terms of making a good business decision, I would have told my dad if I could go back to that movie again. I would have said, "Hey, what are you? I don't know what you're smoking, dude, or drinking, but that ain't happening. Okay, if Richard wants to give me a contract for however long, I'm taking it."
Hello.
Awesome.
I'll do it
Oh,
anyway.
shit.
All
Hey,
right,
you
welcome
gotta.
back, everybody, to the BMXPERTS Podcast. And
Oh shit.
why are you guys laughing?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for coming by to the BMX Podcast. We got Greg Hill.
We got great, you know.
Hey, we're starting out on a good energy right now.
Laughing, man. Thank you very much. Hey, today's a big day, Greg. We appreciate you coming by. We're gonna see if we can get some laughs, have a good time, and see if we get some. Maybe we get some good trivia going with you, bro.
Dude, we rolled into staging on a good vibe, so we're good to go right now, I think.
Yeah. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, riders are in your prep time. Okay. All right, we do what's called the Pena stretch, Greg.
Oh, okay. I've got to do it there. There we go. Hey, I've been stretching for the last freaking 3 days. It's ridiculous.
There you go, dude.
Thank you very much. So, Danny, you had a couple things you wanted to go over with Greg, right?
Yeah, I'm excited having Greg on. Greg has always been my favorite racer. Greg, and we've had a few interactions, dude. You've talked to thousands of people, I know, but years ago, I posted on Facebook. I had this Greg Hill picture in my locker, and when I was in high school, and it's you sitting in front of your black 944, and you're on that all chrome GT. It says it says world champion on your plate.
Wow.
And I had that hanging in my locker, and dude, I was like, yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Like, that would motivate me. Anyway, I put that on Facebook.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that. That's cool.
Yeah, and you commented, and you're like, hey, man, that's really cool. And then you ended up sending me a book.
Awesome. Look at that, dude. Cool. That's right. Nice.
Yeah, nice. So the book is autographed. So like that's I said, cool. I know, Greg, you talk to a lot of people.
There we go. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And but you know, for me,
I was kind of cringing. I was cringing for a moment there because so many people have said to me, "Hey, man, I talked to you at a race one time, and you were a total a-hole." And I'm like, "Hey, maybe that was after my semi when I got 5th place or worse and didn't make it. You know, that's not the best timing. You know what I mean?" But yeah, it's cool, man. BMX is cool. You meet a lot of people. We all have the same love for the sport and our bikes and stuff. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah, like I said, I saw you at Dirty Fest, and here's the funny story, Greg. So like, me and Kevin are at Dirty Fest, right? And we're trying our hardest not to geek out because, you know, we're seeing Clint Miller and Daryl Young and just obviously Mike Miranda. And we're at the Harry Larry tribute, right?
Oh my gosh, that was crazy, man.
Yeah, and you're talking to somebody else. So your like back is kind of turned to me. And Kevin's like giving me the elbow, you know? And I'm like, what's up, dude? What's up? And he goes, who's that? Because he knows I'm a Greg Hill fan, right? So I'm like, holy shit, that's Greg Hill. So like at that moment, like I'm like, what do I do? Do I interrupt you? Because you were talking to this dude. I don't even know who you're talking to.
You just walk up and you interrupt and you just talk because that's what everybody does, you know?
That's what I did, dude. And you graciously took a picture with me. And I was like, oh, this is so freaking awesome because, you know, I've only ever seen you on TV and in magazines. So anyway, Greg, we're going to do our best not to rerun.
You, man. I appreciate it. That's cool.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I'm going to do my best not to rerun everybody's
totally cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over some images with you, and then maybe we could talk about that. How's that sound?
Okay. Yeah.
I have one
Yes,
question
sir.
before we go any further.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, we've argued about this since we started doing the podcast. What's your opinion on colored BMX tires?
Hey, I've used them before.
You have?
Yeah, a couple times. I don't dislike them. I mean, this might be a stupid answer, but it's like all about the compound for me. Like sometimes I had a colored tire on, and I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it seemed like compound was not as soft as if it was just the regular black. Now maybe that's wrong, but that's
Wow, okay.
I don't know, man. You know what, dude? I use them colored, but that's like I don't hate them. It's
Okay,
just
all right.
you know.
All right, cool. All right, Danny, go ahead, man.
All right. I think, Greg, you had some, man, I'm thinking off memory, but I think you had yellow wheat tires on your most recent GHP. Am I stretching or am I?
Yeah, I had some orange tires. I don't know how you know what? I don't know how I got them. I have like I've got a Pro XL G1 from when we like one of the last ones we did.
Right.
And I know I I thought, you know what? I'm going to put some orange. I'm like, this is my thought process. I'm like, hey, I don't race anymore. Who gives a shit? I'm going to put some orange tires on. So I
There
put the
you go.
orange tires on. It matched the frame. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then I took the bike and rode it a couple times. And I took it to Dirty Fest 2 years ago. And I wanted to like dump it off the side of the road. I like rode it for 5 minutes. I thought I was on like a 12-inch pit bike, dude. It was like so uncomfortable. It was unbelievable. It just, and I'm not even like, I'm like 5'10". So when I hear about guys like Stu says, yeah, I'm going over to France and I'm racing. I'm like, are you racing like a 29er or a 26? He's like, I'm racing a 20-inch. And I'm like, good luck with that, bro. That's like it's like riding a pit bike after all these years, you know? It's crazy.
I'm 6'2", and I've never ridden a cruiser. I've never ridden, well, when I in my prime, I never rode a cruiser. I was always on a 20.
Right. So but you don't ride mountain bikes or anything, right? You just only ride your 20.
I used to ride mountain bikes more than I do now, but yeah, I just my 20.
I think if you stick to the 20, you never know the difference. But if you get like into 29ers and you get on a 29er, dude, it's like riding on like a Harley, dude. And then you get on the 20-inch and you're like, wow, how do we ever ride these? You know, it's weird.
Especially when the 29ers, your bars are like eye level. Like,
yeah, man, you get the 29er, you don't cut the bars. They're up there. You could lean back. And for a minute, you can almost feel like you're on a Harley, but you have to pedal, you know, you don't get that throttle action.
Yeah.
I think I know what Greg's talking about because I only ever tried to race cruiser in class one time in one day, and I was having a hard time switching back and forth because when you get used to the cruiser, then you jump on the 20 and it feels very twitchy and squirrely. Yeah. And I go, why does this feel weird when it's completely natural for me to ride a 20 normally? And so I guess I get it. But I guess, Greg, if you rode the 20 all day long, you'd probably get a feel for it.
I think if you're riding a 20 all the time, even if you're our age and you're just riding the 20 all the time, it's no big deal. But when I raced cruiser in 85 and 86, I could just hop on the 20-inch and it was not a big deal. But once you go onto the cruiser and you come back from your moto, I have to put, I don't know how everybody else is. I have to put the cruiser down and go on the 20-inch and go ride it for 15 minutes, just pedaling it, just because, man, it's a different world, really.
When you were at the 85 Worlds in Whistler, you won the World Championship for the Pro Cruiser. I saw that. So what happened on the 20? Because I know I saw you in the rounds, but you didn't do, did you make you made the meet, right?
No, man, I got like third on the Friday race, which was like the pre-Worlds deal.
Yeah.
Harry won and Eddie got second.
Yeah, that was
But I'll tell you, no excuses or nothing. I mean, it's just one of them deals where like, so here's an example. On the cruiser, we had I don't know exactly how many gates of cruiser. Let's just say we might have had 5 or 6,
Okay.
but it wasn't as deep on the cruiser. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but it
Okay.
wasn't. It wasn't like on the 20-inch. You pull a moto with 7 and 8 dudes, and those are 7 and 8. Everyone's fast, and
Right.
on the cruiser you get like 2 or 3 super fast dudes, and then you got guys that are good, but it's different. And in the 20-inch, that track. I'm not trying to be negative, but that track was it's got to be one of the worst tracks I ever raced on. The first turn was just designed for crashing, basically.
That's where
Everybody came into it, everybody bunched up, and if you had an outside lane and you were dead even going in the first turn, you're just screwed, basically.
was that a left? It's a left-hand first
Yes.
turn
Yeah,
as well,
left.
right?
Left hand first turn, and if you go over the turn, you're going down like the side of a mountain. Not I don't know how far, but not a good deal. It was
Yeah.
really bad deal.
I've seen clips of races there, and I think I see one when every single person in the moto crash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you got to like to semis, and you're watching all these semis, you're like you're not gonna watch more than 2 or 3 races without seeing a whole pile up in the first turn every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
It was
Do you,
terrible.
there's a question I got, Greg, thinking about that race because I guess they had the Canada Cup the day before the World Championship.
Yes, yeah,
Harry Larry looked almost unbeatable, and
yeah, absolutely.
but you kind of handled Harry pretty much at other races that I've seen. So is there just moments where tracks are just designed for a certain guy? Like this is your track. I
I
mean,
think Harry was just like on fire that weekend for whatever the reason. He
yeah,
was he was moving out, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened to him come Sunday at the Worlds in the
yeah,
mains. I don't know, but from the day that we first got on the track practice, when you're in practice, you're not trying to watch everybody, but you're also kind of noticing who's going fast. And
yeah.
Harry was on. He was on the gas right out of the gate, man. From that whole weekend.
That brings up another topic, Greg. So like when you're at a race, is it possible to over practice in the morning before you
Yeah,
ride? Did you have a
absolutely.
limit to what you were willing to do? Like I'm going to do
Yeah,
5 games or no more?
I
Or
think.
did it matter?
Yeah, I think everybody has a different outlook on it. For me, my outlook was I was never worried about getting tired because the whole concept of preparing for the race is to prepare so much that a typical race will feel like easy. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean easy like you're going to win easy. What I mean is you're not going to get winded. If you get beat, it isn't because you got tired. It's because you just got beat by people. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
right.
my thing was the first 2 laps, just kind of get out and cruise a little bit, look at the track, see what it's doing, and then the next couple of laps, go for it. And then like the 5th or 6th lap, I never ever wanted to go more than like 6 or 7 gates, and that was it. And if I got a good gate in the first 2 or 3 gate drops and I felt good, I was just done. I don't need no more of it. And mostly the reason for that is because I don't want to be tempted with watching anybody. Nobody wins in practice, but the problem is you can buy into like, oh, that guy's looking really good. I don't want to know about that guy. I don't give a shit. I don't want to watch it.
Dude,
If
that's so
if
true, man.
if I know he's going fast, I'd rather want to know that in the main when I'm in 3rd or 4th and he's out front, then I'll be like, all right, cool. But I don't want to know that, first round of practice. Like I don't want to know about it, if that makes any sense.
That truer words have never been spoken. And also, Greg, do you think that in practice, if you're doing good and the other guy is kind of not trying very hard, it gives you a false security
Yes,
of your own
absolutely.
speed? And you think
Yes,
you're better
absolutely.
in the moto?
Absolutely, because nobody wins practice. Um, Nobody gives a shit who was going the fastest in practice. There's no such thing as, man, this guy was flying all day. How come he didn't win? He didn't win because he got smoked, and nobody cares about how fast he was going until the main event and when the gate dropped. And that's all that matters. You could win all your motos, you can win your quarter, your semi. You can win the first two mains, get 8th place in the last main, and get 3rd overall, and you weren't the fastest guy, and you should have won. You just, it is what it is, man. You know, you can't buy into the mental part of, wow, that guy was going fast, this and that. You know, that's
I
why
beat him in practice. I beat him in practice.
I beat him in practice, and it's like, hey, newsflash, nobody gives a shit about practice. You're warming up. Who cares? You know what I mean?
That's the story of my life. I beat him in practice.
Yeah, like it's just like, wow, you know.
With you, Greg, being who you were, especially in the early '80s, and you know, you were recognized as the best rider at the time, obviously. But did you, when guys were coming up and jumping into the pro ranks, and they see Greg Hills on the moto sheet, do you think they targeted you like, I got to beat Greg? If I could beat Greg, I could prove myself. Did you ever feel that sort of pressure?
I don't know. Later, like now, when you're when it's behind you, I can see that could happen, but I try never really to think about it. Obviously, okay. So here's an example. I'm racing the ESPN series, and we get to the round 6 and round 7, and you're watching the B pros because it was A pros and B pros. You're watching like Gary Ellis on Kuwahara, and you're just thinking, you know, for a moment, you know, you're thinking, this dude's going to be a problem. You know who's good. You see them, you know they're coming, right?
Yeah.
You see guys like that, and you think, wow, you know. So you do notice it, but you know, like Kevin said a minute ago, you're not trying to acknowledge that, and you'll catch yourself thinking of it, and then you're pushing it out of your brain space as quick as you can, because you don't want to be you don't want to be having that on your mind. You just
Right.
don't want to be worrying about anything or anybody, and just be focused on what's in front of you, you know?
When you mentioned the ESPN series, and I think it was '83,
Yeah.
Eddie King's a rookie, and he
Yeah.
wins like Miami or something like that. I forget what
He
round
won.
it is.
This is, you know what? It's been like since 1983. How many years is this? This is like 43 years now.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
And it still pisses me off because he was he won in Waterford Oaks, Michigan, and you know, we run 3 mains,
Right.
and I won the first 2 mains, and he got like a 3rd and a 2nd.
And you guys were tied.
Well, what happened was, going into the last main, I had 2 points. He had 5 points. Going down the last straight, I just did the dumbest thing ever, and I basically sat down and coasted like 40 feet. As I'm coasting, somebody passes me, and we wound up tying. And it's like, yo, how long do you have to race before you become not stupid and do this kind of shit? You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
that's a prime example of win all your motos, win your quarter, win your semi, win the first 2 mains, get 5th in the last main, get 2nd overall, and you weren't the fastest guy that day. Eddie King was. Period.
Yeah, and he won it without actually winning a round.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You could change the subject at any given moment, and I'd be stoked on that. But listen, all props to Eddie. No, seriously, Eddie King was a rookie,
yeah.
and it's like, and I know that at the time, it was like the blood between GT and Diamondback was like, yo, if I see you at the 7-Eleven on the way to the track, I'm probably gonna beat your ass where I'm grabbing my Gatorade, and you're there, I'm probably gonna punch you in the face. I wouldn't, but that was the kind of, dude, it was because Richard Long from GT and Sandy Finkelman from Diamondback were just like, those guys wind up in a 7-Eleven, they're gonna be throwing down. Like it was the tension, you know? It was crazy.
Yeah.
That goes back to that photo when you're crossing the finish line. I've shared it on Facebook, and you're pointing out
Yeah, right.
And you can see Sandy, or was Sandy on the sidelines? I know Rich Long was.
Dude, Sandy was on the sidelines with his head down, his hat, and he just was like not happy.
Yeah.
And Mr. Wharton was next to him. And Richard I don't know how he didn't fall over. The chain link was only like 4 feet high. He was leaned over the rail, doing his hands, screaming and yelling. And I don't, I don't think what a lot of people don't know is that when I come across the line, I didn't know he was there because where I'm pointing to is across, was it the first, second, third, the third corner there? We had our tent and our pit was there, right? So I had only left 10 minutes earlier. When I was on GT, everybody was rooting for each other. So when a 12-year-old went up for his main, I'm a high five him. Everybody's like, yo, dude, get it done, dude. And everybody's doing that. So when I left, same thing. So when I came across the line, I pointed to Richard and them, but Richard wasn't there. I came through the finish. You know how you make the right U-turn and come back down?
Yeah.
And then Richard was right there. And I was like, how the hell did you get over here so fast? Like, I ran over here. I'm not going to miss this. So, yeah, the Diamondback GT rivalry was crazy.
That's awesome. And I was going to ask you something unrelated to that is I just reviewed this race. You commented on some of the clips. And getting towards the back end of the ESPN finals, you guys are running 2 semis, 3 mains, 2 laps. Yeah. How the hell did you survive all that? Because those are 70-second laps, dude. So
yeah, dude. So you know what's crazy is that we raced normal tracks through the first 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And then for the 6th round, you kind of hear, I don't know, you hear some talking under the radar about what's coming. And so I wound up a month before the 6th round at Burbank. I knew the track was going to be ridiculous, really long.
Yeah.
Mind you, back in the day, you're not getting to just pump through a bunch of shit. You're pedaling your brains out the whole time. Like, really pedaling a lot. And so I wound up getting in touch with this guy named Jeff Spencer. Jeff Spencer was a successful trainer to, he was big in motocross. He trained Jeff Ward, Ricky Johnson, David Bailey, all these guys. And, but he also trained guys that got silver and gold medals in cycling for the Olympics. So I had some mutual friends. I reached out to him and I said, hey man, I got to get in shape like yesterday because this is what I'm facing the next 2 races, the next 2 months. I have 2 races and they're both going to be tracks that I'm going to be barfing at the finish line if I don't address some stuff. Right. So anyway, I got hooked up with him. We did a 30-day gig. Then that was the outdoor race was the one that you posted just the other day.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had another 30 days. And so thank goodness there was no other races for me during that because it's really hard to train like that. And then you got to go to a national, you know what I mean? And then come home. And so we got 30 days of full on training. It was kind of brutal, man. Really like crazy.
That race was nuts because you could physically see the transition that you guys were going through. Like the first 30 seconds, everybody doing their thing, going super fast. Right. And then all of a sudden you could see everybody like laboring to continue to go. And I was like, why did they do that? Like from a visual point of view, I don't see it appealing to see you guys dying. You know?
Well, listen, I was right there with you. I wasn't digging it a whole lot myself either, but the track was so brutal. Like after the first main, my legs were so cramped tight, that I had to take my aero pants off and cut the lining out of them to give me more room. Pete was literally dying. A lot of guys were. Because this is not what we're used to. You're used to, hey man, if I get the whole shot and get to the first turn, dude, we're done. We're just have a good another 25 seconds. It's over, right? Yeah. But this was like very, very long. So what really trips me out is that I don't understand how in the hell that I was able to use a 43.16 with 185 cranks at both of those last races, which doesn't make any sense at all to me. Because if I go right now and I'm old as shit now, but if I go out and put a 185 crank on and go try to ride, I'm just like, there's no way. There's no way, dude. It's impossible.
That was an incredible race. Like, I know I posted it incorrectly. I didn't do the finals.
That's okay, man. It's fine.
Yeah, and I looked at the finals one, and I saw the B Pro main, and as strong as Andy Patterson is, he looked like he was about to pass out coming towards the end.
Because there was people coming across the line. I was seeing this, and they were riding straight over to like maybe over to the wall or to a bush or whatever, and they were just straight heaving. They were just leaned over and heaving. I was like,
wow.
After the, I forget which race it was, but I think it was after the second main. I had a third and a second, and after I got second, I had the point. The points was done. It was over. Like, I didn't have to race the third main to win the title. So I told Jeff, I said, hey, man, I'm done, dude. I'm freaking done. And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, I got a third and a second. Nobody can pass me. And his reply was, hey, dude, nobody gives a shit about the title. Half the people aren't going to know who won the title. You know what they're going to remember? They're going to remember who won the last main, and they're going to remember who won this race. Someone's got to win it. So he dragged me off, and we went to the this was at the equestrian center when it was with the roof. You know, it was not outdoor. It was more like an indoor deal.
That was Burley National, dude. I was there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was great. So he says, put your bike in your pit, walk with me. We're heading over to the bathroom. I'm like, we're going to go into the bathroom. Yeah. We go into the stall. He shuts the stall. He's like, drop your race pants, sit on the toilet. And then he got, I don't know what it was. It was like a hot menthol type of massage cream stuff. And he's like, spent 10 minutes on one leg and 10 minutes on the other leg. And we got done. We had about 20 minutes before the third main. And he says, I want you to be moving the whole time right now, not thinking, figure it out. I want you to walk. So I walked in a big circle around the staging area. And I didn't stop until they were like, all right, A Pro, and they start reading our shit. Then I grabbed my bike. Wow. And his whole thing was, you're going to go out and win the last main, and then we'll talk about who won the series and who won the race and all this other stuff. And so I'm like, you know what? Thank God for that, because it's real easy to just be so tired that you don't care no more. You know what I mean? You're looking for the exit door. It's easy to do that.
Right.
And you know, we're not racing in a sport where, you know, there's no money in BMX. There never has been money in BMX. Like, we're not going to win an extra, $400,000 for winning the overall at this race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not like that. So you have to do it for, like, you're doing it because you really love it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that ESPN series. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
This was different than a normal pro crossover, right? We're talking 2 full laps, not just a pro crossover.
Yeah, because what it is you do the full lap. Let me get this right. You do this lap, and you come around, man. You come around there's a first, second, third, fourth turn. You get into the fourth turn, which is the second to last turn. So it already takes from the gate to the fourth turn, might take 35 seconds, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But instead of going through the fourth turn, you go up and over it and back right onto the first straightaway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And there's a water jump. There's a water jump prior.
Yeah.
But then you land and you're going on that first straightaway. So yeah, and then you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more turns, and now you're sucking wind, man. You got no jumps to pump to get backside on. You got 60 yards, and there's like one double. You're just pedaling your brains out, dude. It's crazy.
Danny, you were an expert. Did you ever do a race, a big race when they had the pro cross? Did you ever do the pro crossover?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I've never. That ESPN series with that 2-lap thing, and I've never seen anything like that. Never have. I mean, I've seen
every local track that I raced Azusa, both Azusas, I raced Pipeline, and they all had a pro crossover for big races.
What do you mean a pro jump? Like there was
it was a crossover where you cut the track and win again. They're like it was like a race and a half or a race.
Yeah, right.
That must be a SoCal thing.
I think after they did that in '83, they did that at some other tracks. Kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
You just put a few cones out and you go over the backside of a turn. You can rake the backside of a turn and smooth it out in 15 minutes with some. And next thing you know, you're on the second straight or the first straight and hitting another lap. You know.
Yeah.
That I think that with the ESPN series, it carries a lot of weight in my mind because all of America is watching you guys ride on television. So to say that I won that series to me is as significant as saying I got a national #1 title because let's face it, all the best riders in the world were all racing at the same time on a series of tracks. And even though these are just Yale nationals, to us at home, just being ignorant to the whole thing, I'm like, oh, these are the greatest riders ever. You know what I mean? And they're all going for me. Do you feel you got the recognition that you deserve for winning that?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. If you really put it in perspective, and the expectations aren't that of like, hey, this is never going to be like baseball or football or motocross. It was much more prestigious than if you won like a normal national. I think what made it more, the magic in it for me was being involved on the other side of the coin on this series. Like I got a phone call from Rennie Roker in '82, and he says, hey, I want to put a pro series on, because he had been putting on like world championship races,
World championships and all that.
Yeah. But he's like, I want to do a legit series. I need someone to help me get the guys to a meeting. I want to have everyone show up. Can you help me? So he got this hotel in I think it was in Monrovia, California, Monrovia area. He says, I got a conference room. I need at least 20 of the best guys to show up. I want to bounce this off of you guys. And if you guys are supportive of it, then that'll give me the green light. So I got a hold of everybody, and we went there, and there was probably 30 or 40 pros, and he said what he wanted to do. And we were all like, this is great. Let's do it. And then after that, he approached me and he says, I want you to create the point system, and whatever you want, however you want to do it, that's how we're doing it. And so I was like, cool, this is great. Finally, we can do like a fair gig where he says we can only do just 7 races. So I'm all right, 7 races, no double points at the end of it. The person who does the best all throughout the series will win it. None of this double point at the end, 80 points for first, 70 for second, all the way down, last place, 10 points. You don't make the main, you don't get points,
Yeah.
And you don't have to race 4 races to qualify for the title. Whoever has the most points at the end wins the title. That's it. 7 races straight up. And it was cool. It went really, really good.
It was easy to follow too, even as I'm like 13 at the time. Yeah. Watching on TV, it's easy to follow. They say in every episode, I shouldn't call them episodes, but every race, they're like, these are your points leaders.
Yeah.
You knew what was going on like the whole time. Right. So it was awesome. I do have a question though, Greg. Midway through the series, you transition from factory GT, and then you start GHP. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this, but was it difficult to go, I'm changing bikes all of a sudden? I'm kicking ass.
Like there's a backstory that I've told some good friends in that, but I never really dove into it on any kind of like stuff like this. So I can do it quickly.
Okay.
I raced in 1981. I was at a race in La Mirada. I was 16 years old. I'd known Richard Long since I was like 11 years old, and I knew Gary Turner. Like I stood in Gary Turner's garage with my father watching him make a frame. And so like I knew these guys. So Richard told me, and I was on I don't know what bike I was on. I had a Shimano jersey on. And Richard came walking right up to me with Gary, starts talking to me and says, hey, I want you to ride a GT frame. I'll pay you $400 a month to ride our frame. And Gary's like, no, we're not paying anybody. And he's like, don't listen to him. You're listening to me. Come to my office on Monday. We'll get you set up, $400 a month. So I did that. It was a handshake deal. Okay. So that turned into in October of 81. Hey, we want you to ride for GT. Here's what we're doing for you. And they did everything. It was the best. And he handshake deal. And that dude, if he said he was going to do this, he did this. He always did more than he said.
Okay.
The whole thing was in the middle of 83, I'm trying to buy a house. And my bank is saying, hey, handshake deals are cool, but we can't fund a loan on a handshake. You got to have a contract. So I'm going to my parents and I'm like, hey, I need, I got to go meet with Richard and I got to get a contract because my bank won't fund our loan, our mortgage loan. So my dad at the time was doing Star Products. He was making frames, forks, bars, seat posts.
Mm-hmm.
Boris Dixon was making them. My dad's, God rest his soul, the abruptness that people will see in me, the hey, F, you know what I mean? Standing up for yourself and all that. That's my dad, man. So my dad says, hey, go tell him you need a contract through the end of 83. If he wants to do anything different than that, go tell him to F himself. And I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm not going to tell this guy to go F himself. He's been good to me. He's like, if they don't want to give you a contract through the end of 83, we're going to turn Star Products into GHP. We will have plenty of sales and you'll start racing for GHP. So I'm like, okay, all right. What am I going to do? When you're younger, you don't know a lot. You just know you want to ride your bike and try to go fast.
Yeah.
So I go to GT and I tell Richard gives the very best answer, which goes hand in hand with, like I said, he always does more. I said, this is what I'm dealing with. He goes, hey, why don't we do this? Let's predate your deal a year before you started. And instead of the end of 83, let's go to like the end of 85. The bank will like that longer term much better. How right is he? That's like the nicest thing. He's totally right.
Right.
So now I'm like totally screwed, okay? Because I hear my dad back here. I'm like, Richard, man, now mind you, Richard Long and Gary Turner know Boris Dixon very well. Boris is in Santa Ana. He's making his own stuff and he's private labeling other bikes for people. I said, Richard, I really need to just go to the end of 83. Richard leans back in his chair. He says, Greg, listen, he disqualified me for a month from his track when I was like 12 years old. So he says, Greg, I love you like a son, but if you go and start your own bike company, I'm going to put you out of business, man. Straight up. You will not make it. So now I'm like, oh, God. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you for everything. And he says, no problem. And I left. I go home, tell my dad what happened. He goes, no problem. The next thing I know, we got a guy over. We're doing artwork. We're getting stickers made. Boris is making some shit. What bike do you want? Here, take this. Copy that. And we do our own thing. And so, we do our own thing. And after like close to 3 years, it's a lot of things are happening. People are going overseas to get bikes made. The industry is turning different. Okay. And we're not making it. So, and I put a lot of money into it. And so my dad's like, well, you know what? I'm like, listen, I'm not putting any more money into this. I put like 200 grand into the GHP of my own money to do this. And I don't have any complaints. It's whatever. But my dad is like, well, we're going to take money from our house. And I'm like, no, you're not. That one guy on the internet, he says, it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's like, I'm like, no, you're not. I don't know who's going to race for you because I'm not. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right. So we shut it down. And I talked to Redline, and Lynn Caston says, hey, I want you to ride Redline. Sign you to a 2-year deal. Okay, cool. Man, I'm on Redline for like, this happened at the end of 85. So going into 86, this is all going to shit quickly. I get on Redline. Well, after 9 months on Redline, I get a phone call from Lynn, and this is at the end of 80, towards the end of 86. And he says, this is like August of 86. He says, listen, you got to come up to my office. So it's like a 2-hour drive. I go there. He says, Gregory, we don't have any money left.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sitting there going, this is just awesome, man. I still got to go to like 5 more races. I got a Redline credit card in my pocket that has an $8,000 left on it. So I don't say nothing to him. Mind you, I got a 2-year contract he's canceling after 9 months. I say,
Right.
all right, it is what it is. Shake his hand, leave. I go straight to his bank. Tell the teller, you can't do this today. But I pull the card out, pull my license out. Hey, I need to take the balance off of this card. Okay, no problem, Mr. Hill. She gives me 8,000 cash, right?
Oh,
I go home. I buy, the rest of the airline tickets I need to buy and finish the year out. Now the year is kind of done, and I don't have I don't have a sponsorship, and there's no sponsorship, and I'm looking around, and BMX is just tanking hard.
Yeah.
My buddy says, hey, why don't you call Richard? And I'm like, Richard Long? He's like, yeah. I'm like, are you like the dumbest guy I know? Like, you think I'm going to call this guy after I totally screwed him? I feel like a jackass. He goes,
Yeah.
you need to call him. So I said, I ain't calling him, dude. I'm probably done. I'm going to go see about what else is happening in life, because BMX racing is not happening. So then my buddy calls me a couple of days later and he says, hey, you got to be at GT on Monday morning. I said, what the? I don't want to say what I said.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He goes, I talked to Richard and he wants to talk to you. I go, you're kidding me. He goes, show up at his office on Monday and go and talk to him. So I did that. And I got into his office. He says, hey, shakes my hands, have a seat. I'm sitting down. I feel like the biggest jackass you can ever imagine.
You're crawling back, man. You're crawling back.
I didn't want to crawl back. I was done. I tapped out. But he says, listen, what's happened has happened. It's behind us.
Right.
We own Robinson Racing now. We got to sell bikes. Do you want to win a championship? I'm like, hell yeah. He goes, let's go. He shook my hand. He goes, we're not doing handshakes anymore. I'll get you a contract. In the meantime, and they had this shopping cart out in the back in the warehouse at GT. It was a shopping cart, had a number plate on the front of it, had handle grips on the part where you hold it. He goes, go down the aisles, fill it up, whatever you need. If you need something different or special, go meet with Gary, tell him what you want. Let's go win a championship. So we raced. I raced in 87. It was good, did really good. In 88, won the NBL Pro title. And yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And that's why I left GT, is because I had to get a loan. My dad told me what's up. I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen. And that's how it happened. I should have, like, hindsight 2020, I should have stayed on GT. I could have rode GT to the end of my career.
Right.
Great. Do you think that Richard knew before you went in, or do you think when you said, I don't need a contract until 83, do you think that was a tell? Did that tell him what he needed to know?
Yeah, Richard was a super smart dude. And I said, I need to come in and talk to you. And he knew what was up. I know he did because,
He already knew.
I believe he did, because my dad used to, my dad was getting frames and forks and bars made already. They were all using the same chromer, bush plating in Santa Ana. Everybody talks under the radar and that.
Yeah.
He knew what was up, man. He wasn't stupid,
So do you think that's why he said, I'll give you till 85? Do you think that was to see what you would say?
I'm sure it was. But he also fully intended on doing it because, I was winning a lot of races. And GT, I don't want to say this, I don't want to be like I want to be humble when I say this, but if you've been in BMX your whole life, and if you really did it early on, and I know that Gary Ellis and Tommy Brackens were just great, awesome racers. And I love those guys.
Mhm.
But if you ask people about GT, they'll think about the early '80s, and they think about me because I was the first guy to take When I got on GT, I watched them move into 3 different warehouses, 3 different locations. They were growing so fast, and the magazines were just. It was the wave of the sport was growing massively, and the coverage we were getting was way more than it was in like towards the end of the '80s, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I if I could do it over again, I wouldn't. And I love GHP, and I had massive, great memories with GHP. But in terms of making a good business decision, I would have told my dad if I could go back to that movie again. I would have said, "Hey, what are you? I don't know what you're smoking, dude, or drinking, but that ain't happening. Okay, if Richard wants to give me a contract for however long, I'm taking it."
How did this whole Cycle Pro get involved with GHP? Was that from the very beginning, or did they come in later on and help you guys out?
They came in later on because the guy that was doing our ads for GHP, he was also doing the ads for Cycle Pro, and so I really wasn't involved in the whole thing other till the last minute. My dad did it, but what they wanted was an agreement where they wanted to basically distribute GHP American made products, so we would keep making stuff, and they wanted to bring in like Taiwan products and complete bikes, a signature line of bikes. So like the
Okay.
agreement was I got like a small percentage on every product that had my name on it. And then that they would buy $24,000 worth of GHP product every single month to push out to their dealers.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so they did that for 3 months, and we had like a 2-year contract. After the 3rd month, it went from 24,000. Then they bought like, I don't know exactly, but just an example, they bought like 17,000. Then the next month they bought like 9,000. Obviously they weren't selling as much as they maybe thought they were, but we had a contract, and it's like, man, not gonna if you're not gonna do a certain part of this contract, then none of it works. So
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it didn't last very long.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. That was always kind of curious how Cycle Pro.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't look like it really affected you on the track,
No.
although it was a lot of financial decisions being made and big
I
decisions.
just right. I mean, I don't know. That's a double-edged sword. Maybe I should have been more tuned into the business, but my whole thing was like, I told my mom and dad, I'm like, listen, you can't expect me to go out and try to be the best racer and compete with these guys I'm racing against while I'm trying to run a business. I mean, I can tell you what look I like, and I can tell you all day about geometry and advertising. I give you input, but I can't do day-to-day shit. I can't let my mind go there. Because you're either going to be a great racer or great at business, but you're not doing both.
Yeah.
Something suffers. You know what I mean?
I have one more question about you told us. I've heard you tell a story about the blems that you got out of from overseas.
Yeah.
Did any of those blems ever make it to market?
Yeah.
So there are bars and forks out there that are blems from GHP.
There's no bars out there because
Okay.
I was at the shop the day the truck pulled up from VDC to deliver like 200 pair of handlebars. They just got them from Cromer's and they brought them to us. We usually would write a check for them when they deliver them. And I went out to go help unload them. And I'm like, hey, dude, what's going on with these handlebars? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, what I'm talking about is, I don't know if you can see, but like these handlebars are really good for left-hand turns, bro. You got like the left side is like 6 inches and the right side is like 12 inches. Like this is not happening. I'm not buying these. He's like, well, you got to pay for them. I'm like, I'm not paying for these. If you can snap your fingers and make these be even on both sides, I'll pay you for them right now.
Yeah.
But they're not right. So we refused them. I don't know how much time went by, but I was on the road. Sometimes I would go on to 2 or 3 week or 4 week trips to where you're racing back, especially if you go back east, right? Because I want to travel back and forth. So I was gone. My dad was doing what he was doing. My mom decided she was going to just like handle shit. And so she had forks. I don't know how many. I think it was 100 pair. She stickered them up and she boxed them up and she shipped every one of them. And then we started getting phone calls. It's like, yo, we've got these forks and the dropouts are welded on backwards, but they're chrome plated and the stickers are on them, but they're backwards. And I'm like, what the are you kidding me? Dudes are like, no. So back in the day, you're not, hey, let me shoot you a text. You're just like, mail them out. When I get them in my hand, we'll give you a refund. Sure enough, all these forks are coming back. Dude, you're looking at this fork, you're going, how the fuck? How did this happen? How did you sticker up this fork and the dropouts on the wrong damn side and you ship it out? But most people's moms probably didn't know the difference.
Right.
She's not riding the bike, you know? So
you don't think,
yeah.
You don't think Boris did it unintentionally, do you?
You know how you can take money and buy stuff at the store? Well, you can take money and you can buy outcomes on certain things as well. I know for sure that Voris was influenced to do some shit. Now, the thing was also that Voris was in the middle of selling his business. And I don't know the guy who bought it, but someone had bought it and somebody, I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but somebody got a hold of that dude and, influenced him to help us have issues because
Wow.
you're not making product for yourself, VDC, free agent, 3 or 4 other brands.
I make that mistake.
You're not making dropouts backwards, dude. The fuck? You're not making handlebars that are like lopsided like that. Nobody's doing that on accident.
Greg, I wonder if those would be the ultimate collector pieces. Have has anybody ever sent you a picture of them?
No, I've never seen them, but I did back when it happened. I saw photos and I saw things, but like nobody, because everybody sent them back for a refund,
Okay.
Right.
And I don't know what happened to them. And the handlebars, we never even received them. Dude, the handlebars are like 5 inches on one side and like 12 inches on the other. Like nobody's buying these. Nobody's.
Yeah. How could? Yeah. That's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's done on purpose. Has to be.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I'm going to ask Greg, I'm going to switch gears on you, man. I know 85, 86. Well, I guess it would be, you were on Robinson in 86 because you corrected me the other day because I thought it was 89.
Yeah.
Then I went and looked at magazines and go, God dang, he's right. But do you regret? I know you were going after the USBA title, but do you regret not doing the Rad movie? Because I know they wanted you, right? You were the dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, in 85, I forget when the movie was, when this guy named Hal Needham called me. He was the executive producer guy, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was 85. And so they contacted me. And the guy says, listen, I would like to meet with you in Burbank. Come sit at my office. I want to tell you what we're doing, this BMX movie. I want you to be involved. He's like, you're the first guy we're calling. We want you in the movie. I'm like, okay. So I go up there and I'm sitting there. And the guy says, hey, we really want you in the movie. We have another list of people. We want you to, this is what he said. We want you to be in the movie. You're the first one we're asking. And we'd like you to consult with us on this list of names, who we should, who we shouldn't. We want direction from you. And I'm like, when are you shooting the movie? And he's like, well, these might not be exact, but this is just an example. We're going to be shooting in Canada in all of June and July and half of August. And I'm like, I said, you know, the thing is, I'm leading points in NBL right now for both pro and cruiser, and I'm leading points for pro and cruiser in USBA right now. So I have a chance to win 4 titles right now. How much does this pay? He says, well, this is unbelievable. He says, and I'm sure that all these dudes like Fiola and whoever else, Mike and all them are going to be like, oh, they offered me way more money. No, they didn't. They probably paid everybody the same. They're like, we'll pay all your expenses. We'll give you $200 a week and whatever else. That was it. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, I can go win one main event and make 10 times what you're offering to pay me. Like, this is a joke. I can't accept this and bypass the chance to win championships because this is my career, man. Right. Do I want to sit right now at 62 and say, yeah, man, I was in rad? Or do I want to be able to say, hey, man, I won like 65 races in 85. I won the NBL Pro 20 Pro Cruiser, USBA Pro 20 Pro Cruiser, the 85 World Championships, or I was in rad. Dude, I don't even want to watch rad, let alone be in it. No offense to anybody. I give my buddy a hard time, Tony Donaldson. He's a super cool dude. He used to be a photographer for Super BMX and BMX Plus and that. And he has rad parties, dude. They get together and they hang out and watch that. And I give him a hard time. But I get it. But by all means, I'm happy I didn't do it because you have to literally forego your racing.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never seen the movie.
What's that?
I've never even seen the movie. That's the inside joke on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's cool now, you know, but it's not cool enough for me to have said, hey, you know, like, I mean, I'm not the only one that feels that way. I didn't see Stu in it. I didn't see all the guys that are winning races. I didn't see in it. Nobody that was winning races contesting for a pro championship was in rad. And I'm not trying to slight them, but dude,
I've never thought about it that way, man.
It's not that I'm trying to be mean to anybody, but like, listen, by the time they're talking to you, like in say May, okay, you've already got 35-40% into the season. You're either a front runner or you're not. None of the front runners did that movie. Not one.
I never thought of it that way, but
I never thought about that, dude.
Yeah. And as much as I enjoyed that because it's a BMX movie, of course I liked it. But
for sure.
But when I first saw it, I was thinking, where's Greg? Where's Harry Larry? Where's Stu Thompson? Where's Eddie King? Because you think of all these guys that could have did the movie. I don't know, Greg, if you've ever sat and watched it, but me and Kevin were chatting one day, and he goes, man, we should just write our own movie. Come up with our own movie. And I go, yeah, we were talking about it because the movie was so fantasy Hollywood that it wasn't really what BMX racing is. Because I remember I was in high school when it came out. So I'm like I think I was a sophomore or junior. Yeah. And, everybody knew I was a racer, Oh, man, it was, do you do the hell track thing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, man, that's far from the truth. We don't go down the sides of buildings and jump in cereal bowls. It just doesn't happen. It was way different.
I just feel like on the backside of this decision that I felt made the right decision for me, because you might look at old people post stuff every day on Facebook where they show first place was $500 or first place was $900. It's not a lot of money, but when you have like 8 or 9 sponsors and they're all giving you like a couple $100, $300 for winning, you could win, just on one day, you could earn like, $2,500. And these people want to pay $200 a week. It's like, I sat back in my chair and I told this guy, I said, you're kidding, right? Like, I think I told him, like, I just drove up here from Santa Ana. You're telling me you can give me $200. I need to be out doing sprints right now, dude. Not $200. I can't live on that.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not even like something I'm going to think about, you know? But you're going to be in a movie. And I'm like, nobody's going to care. It's not going to help me, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Danny and I have been talking about like somebody needs to make a real good updated BMX movie.
I think it would be cool, but you know, the world we live in, man, it's tough, man, because you know the best part about BMX is what I don't think a lot of people talk about, because most people seem to focus on the guys who won pro titles and all this stuff. But like the very, very best part about BMX is that you guys and myself got on a BMX bike when we probably didn't want to play soccer, didn't want to play baseball, didn't want to be in team sports. Like we grew up on the bike, and the bike kept me out of gangs, okay, out of running with the wrong crowds. So that's the story about BMX. That's the story that a movie could talk about, of how many guys, like I have friends of mine who I went probably 12 or 13 years ago, got contacted by a guy named Coy Gibbs. All right. His dad's Joe Gibbs, the guy who was the coach for the Washington Redskins and that NASCAR racing, all that stuff. I went there to train his kid to North Carolina. The guy picks me up there in the airport. We hang out. He takes me to one of their buildings, one of their NASCAR buildings. It's massive. And I'm training his 9-year-old kid. Okay. His brother, JD, at the time, who ran the NASCAR program, comes walking out, introduces himself, and says, "Hey, you're not going to believe this." And I'm like, "I don't believe that I'm here talking to you, but yeah, what's up?" He goes, "There's like 7 drivers right now that can't believe you're here training Coy's kid." I'm like, "You're kidding, right?" And he's like, he names all these names, right? And I'm like, "These people don't know who I am." And he's like, "These people were riding BMX at the Orange Y when you were coming out to practice on Friday nights. All these guys know who you are." So it's like, that takes it to everybody in every sport, walk of life, Jeremy McGrath, everyone, whether you were big or not. We all rode a BMX bike, man. Like it had a lot of value in our lives. That's the story that no one talks about, you know?
Greg, I know I cut out for a minute, man, but there was one question that I wanted to ask you, and from the very beginning, and I know that you were very fast, very very young. You were always on the track. Did you ever have the same experiences as a normal BMX kid, riding your bike to school, doing curb endos in front of your house, building jumps in the local lot? Did you have a chance to do that, or were you always at the track, always competing?
No, I did that from, believe it or not, when I was 3 years old. I hopped on my sister's Royce Union.
Okay.
And I had 2 older sisters. So my oldest sister is the one that took me racing when I was 10. But prior to being 10, I was like 4, 5, 6, 7. By the time I was 7, I was on my bike right out of every single day. Go to school, come home, ride the bike, wake up in the morning on a weekend on the bike all day long.
Okay.
Put the trash can in the street with a piece of plywood, jump it on the asphalt. You know what I mean? Like all this stupid shit that you don't want your kid doing.
Yeah.
And then my sisters and I was hyperactive. So my parents were dealing with a troubled kid who every day I'm coming home. Like I grew up in Santa Ana, dude. So it's like in Santa Ana, there's like, and I know it's everywhere in the world, but there was a lot of gangs and stuff. And it's like you're going to school and you're getting 3 dudes jumping out from behind a wall and just pounding your face in. And, you're 9 years old, 8, 9, 10 years old. Don't sound like a big deal. People are like, "Oh, you're just 8 years old." Yeah, I'm just 8 years old. I just got my ass kicked by 3 dudes that are like 2 years, 3 years older than me. And then my uncle, my dad's brother, told me one day, he says, "Hey, you're getting these fat lips, man. You may as well get something for that. Why don't you pick the biggest guy and just start going crazy on him? And believe me, it'll work out." So like I started fighting all the time. And then I got in trouble, went to 3 schools. My sister was like trying to get my parents to take me racing. And they didn't have time. We just never went. So my sister, I was 10, she was 16. She's like, all right, let's get in her VW, throws my bike in the back of the car. We go to the WSA. Man, thank God for that because, dude, I was too young. I didn't see this. But what happened is she saw this total dork on the track with the chicken on his helmet. Dude had a chicken on his helmet, dude. Okay. It was glued on his helmet. And his name was Stu Thompson. And she was like, I really like him. I want to go to the track 15 times a week. That's not what she said, but we were at the track every time they were open, dude. So,
Yeah.
That's nice, man.
I mean, when the normal fun stuff was cool, but when I started racing right off the bat, within months, she's dating this guy who's, winning all the stuff. And man, I didn't have a time to sit and just think. I was watching him and other people, and I just wanted to win, man. It was like a sickness,
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Oh,
I know we got to play trivia, man, but I got so many questions, Greg. I'm really sorry. I didn't even show you images.
that's fine. Doesn't matter. It's cool.
Okay, cool. But I
It's
wanted
better
to
this way.
before I forget, man, I saw your son in that Civil War movie. That's
my
his
God.
son, right?
Yeah.
He played that weirdo at the gas station, dude, and
Dude.
that was awesome. Like I knew he was an actor, but I was like, oh, that was like opposite of Kristen Dunst, I think it was, or something like that. He had that scene, and he was convincing.
I mean, he had a short scene in that.
Yeah.
But it was really good. And then he did Operation Finale. This movie called Operation Finale, and he was in the whole movie. He was one of the main characters, and it was like unbelievable. I know I'm his dad, and it's biased, but I believe I really believe he did a great job in that movie. I'm so proud of him, man. Did a good job.
Did you get emotional when you see your son on the big screen, man? Was it hard?
I mean, it's just like we went to Burbank. He showed up with his 3 or 4 of his buddies, and I went with my wife, and we were in the movie theater, and it came on, and I'm just like looking up and I'm just like, there's no way, dude, because there's like, what the fuck? What am I looking at here? My kid is on the big screen. It was pretty cool, really cool.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, was it to be Greg Hill's son and not be a racer? Did he feel pressure? I know he did race, but did he feel pressure to do?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I know.
Yeah.
He raced for fun a little bit. My youngest son, Jeremy, he's 29. He raced a handful of times. And then my other son, Lauren, he's 40, and he raced. He was really good. I mean, he was unbelievable. We basically made him stop racing, honestly.
Really?
And yeah, because look, and as he's going into 9th grade, getting ready to start 9th grade, we were at Lake Paris at this ABA National. There was massive people. I think there's 400 motos, man. And this dude, they're doing clips now. People are running clips, and he made his main in like 6 out of 8 kids have clips. He's got flat pedals. He's in lane 8, 13 years old, I think. And he comes out of the gate, man, and he's starting to pull, and he's in front going the first turn. I'm like, unbelievable. I'm watching him. We used to have a track in the backyard, all right, and I'd have myself, Eric Roop, Harry Leary, several, Dale Holmes, like a lot of guys over to ride it. And Lauren would drag me in the corner, do shit that you can't do. And I'm like, this is, I watched John Purse and Kyle Bennett. If people don't understand, Kyle was his stepson. Okay. Kyle Bennett did unbelievable stuff. I watched him in the backyard. I could not believe what I saw Kyle Bennett doing when he was like 14, 15 years old. So I told my wife, I said, right when he came across the line, and we had talked before, I said, wasn't that unbelievable? And she said, yes. I said, he's done. Okay. We're done. We're tapering like 80% down, and we're not telling him right now. Let's give him a week to kind of enjoy this. So a week goes by, dude, and we're like, hey, man, you got high school coming up, and we want you to do sports. I said, I don't care what sport you do. I don't give a shit if it's underwater basket weaving. You're going to be the best underwater basket weaver this place has ever seen. He's like, well, I want to race. And I'm like, you can race, but we're doing sports, dude. So he did track and field. He did football. He did soccer. He got well-rounded. He got experience of having to be responsible. Because a lot of people are like, well, BMX is the best sport. You don't ride the bench. Okay, I can buy some of that. But you know what's cool about sports is that if us three are on a team, man, I can't let you guys down. Dude, I'm not letting you know I feel like shit today. I got to do good. You guys depend on me. My coach depends on me. You have to take a responsibility and you have to be responsible, right? So that's what we wanted him to experience.
Wow.
And he did. And you know, like he started track and field. My son Lauren started track and field in our front yard. And he did long jump, right? So I said, all right, we're going to the library right now. We're going to go get a long jumping book. We're going to check it out. So we got it, brought it home. I went to Home Depot and I got everything I needed to make the runway, the sand pit, the whole deal. We went from one corner to the next and we had a long jump in our front yard.
Wow.
And on the third event of the year, as a freshman, he broke the long jump record that had been set for 48 years. It hadn't been broken. He broke it as a freshman. And it was like, you see, dude, it doesn't matter what you're doing, man. It doesn't matter what you're doing, because if you apply yourself, the whole thing was a learning about applying yourself.
Yeah.
We didn't want him to race BMX and wind up being really good and take the same. I'm not complaining about my career, but there's really it's a job, dude. When there's nobody that's parked their bike as a pro and didn't have to work anymore. Not one guy that I know of. Okay. There's not enough money for that. So I didn't want him to be on that path, you know?
It's funny because me and Kevin were talking a few days before you came on, and we're talking about what do we ask Greg, because we want to make this interesting, and so far it's going pretty well. But I was saying we should ask him about his childhood, because there's this thing I consider like the Michael Jackson syndrome, where he was such a superstar that he lost his childhood. So you turned pro in your teens, early teens.
Yeah.
Did it
At 14.
Did it affect junior high school, high school? Did you miss a lot of stuff?
I
think about your son?
I'm like, dude, I missed everything, man. And I'm not complaining. Okay. Like, I'm not complaining. You don't hear me complaining about it. I don't live in like regret or anything, but like just last night, I do this all the time. My wife and I are in bed. She starts nodding off. My wife, she starts to fall asleep, but she's got the damn controller in her hand, right? And then she'll nod off, and I'm like, hey, yo. And she's not replying. And then I want the remote, but then she wakes up, and then so anyway, I finally get the remote, and I put on like Walter Payton highlights, man. I want to watch Walter Payton. I wanted to play football. I never played football because I raced. And I didn't have anybody to tell me, hey, man, you need to have balance. My dad knew I loved to race. Hey, we're going racing. You want to win? We're going to go win. Okay, whatever it takes. But I didn't do anything else, man. So like the closest I got to football was I asked the coach of the football team when I was in 9th grade. I said, hey, I really want to play football, but I race BMX and I'm starting to make money. I was like in 9th grade. I probably was making 25 grand a year, you know?
Yeah.
And which isn't a lot of money, but then if you're in 9th grade, it's probably a lot of money. So I'm like, who knows where it's going? So he says, why don't you just train with us, not on the field? Because the only guys on the field are the ones that we got to practice what we're doing in the game, but you can do all the off-field training, the running, the gym work, all that. So I did all that, and I got to be with the team and it just made it worse because it's like, dude, I want to go play football. So yeah, that had a big influence on my son and on Lauren to do other stuff, you know, and yeah.
Well, yeah.
Thanks, Greg, for sharing that, man. I knew I was going to drag out something no one's asked you. So
it's like people don't ever talk about this kind of stuff because I know, you know, I don't know, man. it's the human side of stuff. It's like, just because I'm saying, hey man, I wish I would have played football. I'm not bummed about my career, and I'm not second guessing.
Mhm.
But if I had a chance, sometimes you say to people, hey, if you had a chance to go back and do it all over again, what would you do? And people are like, oh man, I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm like, yeah, if I had a chance to do it all over again, man, I would have been done with, I would have raced BMX, but I would have done football, and then I would have raced. I didn't really want to do any other sports. I would have played football, and I might have rode motocross, but I would have raced, but I would have done more stuff. And maybe I wouldn't have won as much in BMX, and maybe that would have been okay. I don't
Maybe.
validate my life on that I won some titles in BMX. I could turn this camera around and show you my house, and the only thing I have in my entire house is I got one Nora cup over here in the corner, and everything else is just normal stuff. I don't live in it. I don't live in it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but I don't know, man. It's
Well, Greg, you got to look at it this way, because I mean, I'm a spiritual person. I know you are.
yeah.
And, God gave you a talent, dude. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
something that we all have. I mean, Kevin loves BMX. I love BMX. I raced 1,000 times, but never anywhere near the level that you raced at. So you were given this talent for a reason. And I think
Yeah.
you took the right path, because look,
I do too.
we're talking to you 40 years later about
Right.
accomplishments that you've already done. And I think it's very important that we do this so that the younger riders know who you are, man. Because I mean, I'm going to tell you something that's off topic too. I go to, what was it, Frogtown.
Yeah.
And I get out of my car, I grab my bike, I'm anxious to go film stuff for my YouTube channel.
Right.
And Stu Thompson goes riding by, and I go, holy shit, that's Stu Thompson, right? And I see the kid who's there's a kid who's working on the grounds.
Yeah.
And he's working the parking lot. And I go, man, did you see Stu Thompson? He goes, who? And he didn't know who he was. And I go, how do you not know who this whole thing is because of guys like that?
But I think a lot of the kids, I don't think a lot of the youngers know who the older guys are in any sports these days, because people are so into everybody has a phone in their hand, and everybody's creating their own BMX action, if you will. Everybody's creating their own media thing of their own life. So like, it's not the same as when we were all like 10, 12, 13 years old. It's like, dude, it feels like it's 5 years till the next magazine comes. You can't look at it on the news. There's nothing. There's a magazine. You got to wait 30 days to get it, right?
Right.
Now it's different. It's totally different.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys think, man. I look, both my sons rode BMX, one more than the other. I look at it. We were all. This is like, it's almost like the mafia. This was our thing. 80s, 70s, it was our thing. And I think it's totally cool that we can look back and say, you know what, we're all like a big family where we all can relate. We can all say, when we all have a story when we're getting on the gate, when we're in staging, when we're signing up, who's checking the moto sheets. We all understand. There's an unwritten understanding with all of us that race or rode bikes. I just think it's awesome, man.
I think it's the brotherhood type thing, and it's super cool. It's very cool. And I love BMX. So, when we talk about all these things and the different avenues you could take, man, I love BMX. The amount of experiences that I've had in my racing career, I wouldn't trade that for anything. At the same time, I felt like for my kids, it was best to try to get them as well-rounded as possible, because let's face it, you could race pro for 10 years and you can win the pro #1 title and the world championship and the Olympic gold medal every single time. And when you're done, you got to go to work. That's it. So if that's the deal, then I don't know. I'm not complaining, but I want my kids to have more options, basically,
Yeah. That's
All right.
amazing.
And my kids have these same experiences that we have. My son Lauren has with like his football, guys, like they could still, some of them talk to this day, and they have that magic that they went through together, Hell Week and CIF championships and all this stuff. It's cool. So,
Yep.
That was a good decision. I think it was good to give him that.
yeah.
Let him experience everything.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think I heard Connor Fields say, I didn't go to my prom. I didn't go to any of that stuff.
Yeah. How can you? You?
Yeah. Because he was so busy winning. He's a younger version of you, basically.
You're getting on an airplane on Friday and you're coming home on Monday. You're begging your teacher to pass you. I don't give a shit about geography. I don't give a shit about that. Why do I care about that? How's that going to help me? You're falling asleep in class. When is the bell going to ring? I don't even know how I got a diploma, dude. I really don't. But, it's like, anyway, it's,
Hey, when you were walking around high school, I mean, did everybody know what you did, or did you just disappear?
No, because when I'm walking around in high school, there's times when like I'm in the 11th grade, and I'm in like a 9th grade English class because I'm hyperactive and I don't pay attention. And so I get labeled as, well, this guy has ADD and, his intelligence, I don't know, they act like you're not intelligent enough when really you're just bored as shit and you don't care. And so, yeah, I was getting picked on even then. It's like, yo, dude, why are you in a 9th grade class when you're in 11th grade? And then you'd get the two or three dudes come up to you in between classes and push you around. And it's like, okay, here we go again. Back in the principal's office. Hey, so what happened? Well, these three guys came up to me and started pushing me. And then, I punched this guy in the face. What do you want me to do? You're either going to get your ass kicked, or you're gonna get in there and at least if you're gonna kick my ass, I'm gonna get mine. Okay, that's
right.
It. Yeah.
So yeah.
Are you okay for some trivia, Greg? Real quick.
Yeah, I'm good with whatever, man.
I appreciate it, man. I can say I played Greg Hill in trivia and I got beat.
I don't know that I'll beat anybody, but yeah, let's do it.
Comment on this race really fast before we do it, dude.
Okay, man, I gotta that race. This is the Pro Open main event, okay?
Yeah.
And we're going down the first straight, and it's a left-hander. On the back straight, Anthony Sewell, who was so fast, dude. Okay, he was so fast. The guy was unbelievable. He's going down the second straight. As we go into the second turn, he does the stick leg out over your number plate and then push to get himself a little in front as we're going to the turn. And I'm like, are you serious? And my thoughts were, dude, you're not winning this, dude. If I'm going down, you're going down. So it's like, that was the Pro Open main. We crashed. Brent went around and won. I got up, threw his bike. Now, this was a race that if you're standing on the track and you look at the sidelines, it was massive people, like a massive amount of people inside this place. And everyone was booing me. And I'm like, I flipped the crowd off. And I pointed at Anthony and told him blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say. And then I flipped the crowd off, which wasn't very cool. And then I got on my bike as I was getting massively booed and rode back out, had to fix my brake lever, got it done just in time to come race the Pro Main. And now, you know how I said earlier, you looking at the moto sheets, don't care who I'm racing, don't want to know who I'm racing, don't think about that. But I'm fully aware that I have lane 3 and Anthony has lane 1. And Stu's in between us, and I'm sorry about that, Stu. But I know that by the second crank, Anthony's on the infield, dude. He's done. And if you watch the Pro Main event on video, having just listened to what I said, it'll make sense now, because as we get 3 or 4 cranks in, I'm already almost on the white line. Stu's been cut off, shut down. Anthony's off the track. And then I got to reposition to get pointed back on the track and keep going because I got Eric Roop and other dudes coming, you know? But I was like, this dude, I needed to pay him back with interest, like right away. So
With interest.
I knew there was something like that because I know I'm going to ask him about this one.
Good question, Danny.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, man. You guys want to play? I got all these magazine covers I was going to go over with you. Sorry, Greg.
that's all right. That's fine.
Yeah, we went an hour and a half. This is a
No
badass
worries.
cover.
No worries,
Greg.
man.
I love this one, dude. That's a
I didn't see
badass
that.
cover.
I'm trying. Yeah, dude. That was, that's Robinson Racing. And it's just, I don't know where we're at, but it's just, I guess it's when power slides were cool, you know?
It looked cool, man. And then here's another Robinson one right here.
Yeah. That was like right after the NBL Grands.
That one's badass. And then, of course, my all-time favorite. This is the best one ever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That was that BMX action. They have some creative ideas to do stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, man. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Greg. You've listened to the show, so
Yeah.
you got a choice. You can do pop culture or BMX, so you just pick whatever one you want. If you get it right,
I'm probably gonna go for BMX every time because I'm not really, you know.
everyone says that, and then they do weird. They do kind of well on pop culture. But I did pop culture a little different this time. I put Generation X pop culture, so it gave a different set of questions, which I thought were a little more relevant. And then if you get it right, it's your point, and then he can, what do we call it? Kevin can steal it, and vice versa.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting hungry. Sorry, guys.
Go for it. It's all good.
All right, so let's go here. All right, Greg, you're the guest. You go first. Do you want to do BMX first, or you want to do pop culture?
We'll do BMX. Why not?
If you get this one wrong, I'm gonna laugh at you, dude. Are you ready?
Yeah. Hey, it's possible, you know.
In 1984, GHP signed what 13 expert from Bandito?
Yeah, that's an easy one. The only kid that ever quadrupled, and he did it several times. Matt Hayden.
Yeah.
Still a good friend of mine to this day. Love that guy.
Yeah.
That was a good.
I remember when Matt showed up at Azusa, Greg, with this new kit, and we were all sitting around in our bike shop uniforms, going, "Whoa, man, that is trick as hell, man!" So I remember
That's cool. Nice. Awesome.
All right, Kev, you're up. What do you want to do?
Pop culture.
All right, in the 70s and 80s, if there was no clock around, no watch around, what did you have to call to check the time?
Oh, what was the 311?
No, Greg, do you remember?
Well, I used to call, at least on my phone where in Santa Ana, I would call 555, and it would be like an open recording line that had like a 5-second hesitation in there where you could hear other people talking. I know it's probably not right, but it would tell you the time, and then you could meet with people, and you could give your number out, and then you could like try to hook up and shit.
Oh, well.
I didn't even know that. The answer I'm looking for, it's called popcorn. You would just spell popcorn on your phone,
and it would tell you the time.
Tell you the time. Yeah.
Wow, I would never known that.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
I was like, hey, it's funny when you start looking stuff up, and I go, damn, I remember that. That's crazy.
I don't know who would get that right. Honestly.
I recognized it, but don't do it now. It won't work.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
All right. Okay, Greg, what do you want to do?
I'll do the pop culture deal.
Oh, he's going to try it. This is a TV show, so it's, it was Mrs. Garrett, Blair, Joe, and Tootie. What show am I talking about from the 80s?
This is how stupid this is. I know the show. I used to watch it. I don't know what the freaking name of it is. I know who they are. I can see them.
Can you sing the song in your head?
Kevin, you know, because I can't, for $1 million, I couldn't tell you. But right when you started saying the names, I'm like, yeah, I know it. I see it. I can't remember the name.
Kevin, do you remember?
Okay, my turn. Can I answer it?
Yeah.
Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Dude, there we go. Yes. The Facts of Life.
Lisa Welchill, dude. Woo! Smoke show, dude. Blair.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
All right, so let's see. That was it's Kevin. It's your turn. You stole that from Greg, so it's
Pop
1-1.
culture.
Pop culture. All right. In the 1970s, who liked Life cereal?
Mikey.
Mikey. Yeah, good
There you
job,
go.
my dude.
Give it to Mikey. He likes everything.
There you go. All right, Greg. What do you want to do?
BMX.
In 1984, CW, Bandito, Kuwahara, and Powerlight used what racing uniforms? Was it Aero, Gear, or JT Racing?
Well, that's a good one. This will tell you how much I didn't pay attention. I want to say Gear, but
Gear is the right answer.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. And I always thought Aero in my mind, but then when I was looking at the ad, I go, oh, it's Gear.
yeah.
I remember gear because Clint Miller always had gear on his leathers.
Right.
That's why I do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good looking racing. They were good looking racing pants, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Greg, really quick. When you were on GT and you jumped to Haro pants, did you get paid for that? I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bob Haro was like a great sponsor. You'd use his number plate, his pants, the whole, everything. It was great.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw you in the magazine with those pants, I was like, Mom, I want these for Christmas. It's so weird to see that. These are so bad.
That's the days of when GT only made, bikes and frames and forks, and you could have as many sponsors as you want that didn't conflict with that. So, yeah, it was cool.
What was the most, co-sponsors you had at one time? Can you, off the top of your head, would you have any idea?
Yeah, probably 9 or 10 different places, people.
That's 9 or 10 different checks coming in.
Because what people don't know is that when I raced for GHP, I never ever one time ever got paid. I got my expenses paid, but I never got a salary. I never took money from the company. I never took profits.
Yeah.
I survived on winnings and co-sponsorships,
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well, Pop culture. Here we go. All right. Let's see. This is funny. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. In the 1970s it was either late 70s, early 80s. What was rumored to kill you if you mixed it? It was a soda and it was a candy.
Pop Rocks.
Yes.
What was the soda that you couldn't drink with it?
There was a specific soda?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
Mountain Dew.
Can I steal it?
Yeah, steal it, Greg.
Coca-Cola, dude.
Coke and Pop Rock.
People's stomach would get all blown up. I don't know that anybody died from it, but I know it would just completely ruin your stomach.
Yeah, it was more of a conspiracy thing, but yeah, it was urban legend. Urban legends. What I'm trying to. Yeah. All right, Craig, it's back to you. What do you want to try?
We'll do the pop culture. I don't know why, but we'll do it.
I told you, man, people like doing this. In the 1980s, who sang "Addicted to Love"?
Oh my God! Again, I know the song. I don't know.
What do you think?
Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer.
There you go. With the ladies with the black dresses.
Yeah. I used to love those videos, by the way. I stopped what I was doing to watch that. I'm like, hold on.
Yep.
All right, so we're back to, that was Greg's. Kevin stole. Kevin, your turn.
BMX.
Pete Lonkarovich signed with what factory team in 1984?
Well, I'm thinking out loud. It's either.
Don't think out loud because Greg will hear your answer. So
I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it.
84. I'm going to go with CW.
CW is the correct answer. Is that what you had in mind, Greg?
Yep.
Yeah. He was on doing the Lonkarovich racing thing.
Before CW or after?
What's that?
He was on Diamondback before CW, right?
Yeah, way before. Yeah.
Okay, because he was doing his own thing, and then he went on to CW. Like he was doing that LRP thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's see. It's Greg's turn.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg.
All right, we'll do BMX again.
In 1984, Gary Ellis and Clint Miller were running what unique handlebars while on Kuwahara?
Yeah, I want to say those were the Galindo handlebars
That's it, Galindo handlebars. You got it.
with the plastic crossbar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things were goofy looking, man. But people still, there's still actually
Hey.
groups of those that are still out today. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Kev, what do you want to do?
BMX.
In 1984, what company made the Unitron grips?
Amy.
Amy, yeah, there you go. Greg, did Amy hook you up pretty well when you were running their products?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They did until, if you'll notice, there's a lot of pictures of a lot of the guys would have the goggles on the helmet and not wearing them.
Yeah.
And they finally put their foot down and said, you got to wear the goggles or we can't sponsor you. And I'm like, thank you very much. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Cause I just didn't like, I didn't like their goggles. They weren't comfortable for me. So
we did a whole thing on the goggles on the helmet, Greg.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. That's so funny
Hey,
you brought that up.
You could see, you can see cool photos of Mr. T with the goggles on the helmet and the sunglasses on. I don't know if you've noticed that, but there's a lot of pictures like that.
That's his look, man. That's like wearing suspenders and a belt, you know?
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so that was good. So we're up to Kev.
BMX.
BMX. Okay, let's see here. Oh wait, Kev, you got the Amy one right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's Greg's turn. Okay, Greg.
Turn. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
What do you
Greg.
think? What do you think, Greg?
What's that now?
It's your turn. Which one you want to do?
We'll do BMX. Why not? What the hell?
What AA pro raced for ProNeck in 1984?
And who took up two lanes on the gate? Sean, Texas.
Hey, real quick, Greg, was Sean squirrely as everyone says he was because of all his power? Because I've seen him race. I've only seen clips.
I think that the guy just overpowered his bike and didn't have. It's like the equivalent to one of us being on like a 450 that we shouldn't be on, motocross bike.
Yeah.
And you just twist the throttle and you just don't know where it's going to take you. Like this guy was so powerful that I don't think he had control of his bike a lot of times.
Was he one of the guys that you would kind of have to point away from when you were on the gate?
Yeah, you just never want to really be around him. And the thing is sometimes he would just run right into you and then you would get pissed off, but it's like back then I wouldn't have think this way. As I sit here now, I'm like, this guy's intentions were not to plow into you. He just didn't have a lot of control based on the amount of power he was putting down. The guy was like massive, dude.
Yeah.
He was massive.
Seriously,
I don't know how his bike, his chain, and I don't know how he didn't bust his chain off or his pedals or whatever, because he was huge, really strong dude.
Was Steve Schobert a pro on ProNeck?
Yeah.
Okay, but that wasn't. That was earlier than '84.
That was way earlier because I think Schobert in '84 was on Skyway.
Okay, all right.
Okay. All right, so let's see. It's going back to Kev. What do you want to do?
Pop culture.
Okay, what would we use to rewind a cassette tape that unraveled?
Pencil.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
these.
that's cool.
The Generation X ones are fun, dude.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All right. Okay, let's see. Back to Greg. What do you want to do, Greg?
But we'll do pop culture.
All right. Run DMC popularized what shoe brand?
Wow.
Think of the song, Greg.
This should be easy, but I'm just I don't want to waste all of our time thinking about it. I don't know. I'm going to pass this off to Kevin.
What do you think, Kev?
Adidas.
Adidas.
There you go.
Adidas. All right.
Yeah, they made them very popular. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting toward the back end, guys. Let's see. What do you think? What do you want to do, Greg? Oh, no, it's Kevin's turn. What do you want to do, Kevin?
Kevin's up.
BMX? In 1983, Bobby Woods raced for what factory team?
Robinson.
Oh, Greg, what do you think?
You know, I'm pretty sure it was Robinson. I don't think he was on Mongoose yet. Maybe he was. I don't think so, though.
Was he? What's your final answer?
I'm going to say 83. I'm going to say Robinson.
Well, Kevin already said Robinson, so you don't want to pick that one.
But I don't know. We didn't. Oh, you only pass to the other person if that one's not the correct answer.
Yeah.
Which really is unfair because there's only one other team, which is Mongoose. But I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's part of the allure of the game, Greg.
But when I think of that time period and I think of Mongoose, I think of Eric Roop, Travis Chaprez. I don't think about Bobby Woods yet. I didn't realize he rode for him that early on.
And it was like a really, I'm never going to find it, but it's a real early ad that I see him on.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see here. Let's moving on.
Greg's turn.
Greg's turn. Greg, what do you want to do?
BMX.
In 1983, who made the Maxi Cross cranks?
Maxi Cross. Wow.
Like aluminum cranks, look like alloy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I should know this. I don't know.
What do you think, Kevin?
Maxi Cross. I don't know. I'm going to pass.
Shimano?
Sagino made Maxi Cross.
Maxi Cross.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, did you have to dig? You had to dig pretty deep to find that one. I don't remember them. Some reason.
All I do is go through the magazines and look for ads.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing pretty good. It's 6-7. Kevin, you got a small lead here. So what do you want to do? Your turn.
BMX.
Okay. 1984 Redline 500A. Was it over or under $200?
Oh, it has to be. Well, this is gonna be a trick question. 500A. That sounds like it's a cheap one. I bet you it was $199. So I'm gonna go below.
You're right, man. It was start stomping with. The ad says start stomping under $200. It was
wow.
A
complete bike for $199. That's pretty cool.
And it's a red line, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's see. Going back to Greg. What do you want to try, Greg?
We'll do the pop culture thing.
All right. Okay, why did Milli Vanilli end up returning their Grammy for Best New Artist?
Because they were lip syncing all their songs.
Lip syncing, that's it. You know, I just saw a movie on them. I want to say it was on Netflix. Their story's kind of like.
I saw that. It's very interesting, actually.
Yeah,
it makes you feel bad for them in a way. You know, I'm like,
they really like. You know what's crazy is a lot of people have done that, but they really paid the huge price. Their lives turned to shit basically after that.
Yeah. All right, so we're like, see, Greg got that one right. It's 7-7. It's neck and neck. What do you think, Kev?
BMX.
All right, here we go. Okay, so it's Greg's turn. You got the red line one. Okay, Greg.
Okay, we'll do BMX.
But you just had Milli Vanilli.
Oh no, he did get Milli Vanilli. Okay, I got.
Yeah, that's right. It's your. Yeah.
We're all getting old, man. Go ahead, Kev.
BMX.
Okay, in 1984, BMX Action tested the GT Pro Series race bike. The price point on this bike, I'm going to give you multiple choice. It was complete with one-piece cranks, though, even though it was considered the top of the line. $460, $360, or $519?
$460.
What do you think, Greg? You want the options again?
I'm going to go with it was $360.
$360. That's the one. It was a little bit. I think Kevin, you would have been right had they had Power Series cranks on it or something like that. And
that had generic parts on it, basically.
Pretty much. So, Greg, when you went back to Robinson, and all the pictures I've looked at, your bike looks almost completely stock. Is that fair to say, or did you do anything
Yeah,
different?
I mean, it was pretty stock. I just had, I think I had Gary make a frame that had a little bit longer of a back end. I mean,
Yeah.
all the same tubes and the same bends and everything, just like I think 1 inch longer on the back end. Because Robinson's out of the box, they had a very short back end
Oh, okay. Okay.
based on what I was used to riding.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so because I was looking at the photos. I go, dang, it looks like the parts the bike comes with.
Yeah, a lot of them were, you know. So
Well, that just tells you that they were good. If they were, you're racing at a pro level, pretty much stock.
yeah, that was, I want to say that was like just prior to, I mean, like Red Lines would come with flight cranks, and
Yeah.
it's before, like, say, Shimano was making like their really high end aluminum. So there was a period there where the bikes were coming with really good parts, and then companies
Yeah.
started making these higher end hubs and cranks and whatever, you know, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So, Greg, you stole it. It's still your turn.
I'll go for BMX.
Complete this business name: Blank and Frank Bicycles.
Hank and Frank.
Hank and Frank Bicycles.
Yeah.
All right, good one. So we're up to, uh-oh, Kevin, he's got 9. You got to get moving. You got 7.
Pop culture.
Pop culture, here we go. This is a hard one, man. Sorry, Kevin. In 1993, Zima was produced by what famous beer company?
Budweiser.
Oh, damn it. You missed it. What do you think, Greg?
I was going to think that same thing. 1 second. I don't know. I mean,
it was made by
Coors.
Yeah. And I didn't know. I'm not a drink, but I just thought that question was kind of unique, so I grabbed it.
Yeah, I never knew that. I was going to say Anheuser-Busch, which was Budweiser, right?
Yeah, that is, yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's see. You guys both missed it. It was okay. It's your turn, Greg.
Pop culture.
All right. Pop-up video refers to what TV network?
Pop-up video.
Pop-up video.
Isn't that is that?
It was.
I want to say VH1, but it's probably not. I don't know.
Say your answer.
VH1.
VH1. There you go.
The thing is, that's the one that has all the little pop bubbles that talks about all these cool little trivia shit while they're singing the song, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right, so we're at 10-7, Kev. Let's make it happen.
BMX.
Okay. AFA stands for what?
American Freestyle Association.
There you go. X gets the square. Good job, my boy. Good job. All right, back to Greg. What do you want to do, Greg?
Pop culture.
Okay, great, man. What Detroit-based record label was founded by Barry Gordy?
Detroit-based Barry Gordy.
Record label. What's
I have
the
no idea. No idea. I'm going to pass this right over.
What do you think, Kev?
Motown.
Motown. All right.
Motown. Wow, that's.
All right, Kev. This is your chance to tie Greg. What do you want to do?
Pop culture.
All right. Okay, so this one you got to listen to carefully, okay?
Yeah.
In the let's see. I don't even have to give you the year. What was the name of the NASA program that successfully landed on the moon? What was the name of the program?
Okay. It wasn't the Apollo.
Apollo. You got it, dude. I knew you were going to say it. I'm like, say it. All right, good job, man.
There you go, man.
10-10. All right, Greg.
We'll go for some BMX.
True or false? Stu Thompson received a royalty for every single Stu Thompson replica bike sold by Huffy.
True.
True, 100% true. I just read that today. I was like, damn, that must have been big. And in the magazine, they were asking him, how much did you make? And he would not say.
He would never tell anybody.
He would not say, yeah.
Right.
That had to be big, though. Dude, every neighborhood kid that had a wannabe BMX bike, no offense to Huffy, was riding that white Thompson replica. You know what I mean?
If he's listening to this, then he can confirm what I'm going to say. You would have to be getting paid for every single thing they sold if you're going to ride for Huffy. Okay? Because you're not riding for Huffy unless you're getting paid. Like, seriously. I mean, and that's cool. That's cool.
It is, man. You got to go where the money is, right? So you went where the
absolutely.
All right, Kev.
BMX.
Okay. All right. Besides Greg Hill, what other BMX pro ran full ads for Zap pads?
Besides Greg Hill,
can I give you a hint?
Sure. No. Let me see if I can do it. Tommy Brackens.
Nope, not Tommy Brackens. Greg, you know who it was?
Yes, sir. Brian Patterson.
Which I thought was super odd.
He wins by this much, and it's the pad, remember?
Yeah.
He's got the pad.
I always thought that was weird because Patterson had their own pad sets. So I'm like, why are you running Zap pad ads all of a sudden with the checkers and the lightning bolt? So I thought it was, I don't know, but I guess it goes back to what Stu, the money.
It's just about, I don't know. I don't want to waste our time on, I just want to be real quick. Zap pads was a great sponsor.
Yeah.
The first year I used their product, they paid me $300 a month or something. And at the end of the year, they said, hey, we can't justify spending this much money just to give you the money. We got to make you earn it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So they're like, we'll give you $200 every time you win, regardless if it's pro or pro open.
Okay.
And that was in 1982. And I think in 1982, when you add up the pro open and the pro in both sanctions, I think I won like 50 some races. And at the at the end of the year, they said, hey, we're really sorry. And I said, it's okay. Thanks for everything you've done. And then they went and they sponsored Brian after that.
Wow. Okay.
Greg broke the bank, essentially, is what happened.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down to one BMX question, and we've got two pop culture left. It's 12-10, and it's going back. And so it's Greg's turn because he stole that from you. What do you want to do, Greg?
We'll do BMX.
All right. In 1984, who made the Jocks Jag shoe?
Tom McCann.
Tom McCann. Good one. All right. Okay, Kev. Let's go. We got to go pop culture. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who was widely known as the king of rock and roll?
Elvis Presley.
There you go, Elvis. I just watched the movie Priscilla the other night. That was good on Netflix.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay, and then Greg, you get the last one.
All right.
Who performed the song "I Want to Ride My Bicycle"?
Queen.
Greg, first
Freddie
time
Mercury.
on the show. Greg wins. 14
That's cool. That's cool stuff, man. Going down memory lane, dude. It's cool. It's good stuff. It's cool.
Hey, Greg, sorry we kept you on for dang near 2 hours, dude. I think we could have did another 2 hours. I always say this, but I had so much more to talk about, man. But
it's all good. It's cool, man. This was cool because there's a lot of things that never got talked about, like when I've done these that hit a lot of different things, which is nice. It's cool.
Man, we're deeply indebted to you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me.
Highlight of our year.
Thank you, sir. we're 5 days in, but we're starting strong, so it's all good, man. Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys very much.
We're gonna say goodbye. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care, guys. Thank you. All right, peace out. Thank you. Bye bye.
What do we do? What do we say now, dude? What do we do?
We say that I think we accomplished our goal because Greg said himself, you had me answering questions that I've never answered before. So that was my absolute goal for this episode. I wanted to dig and find something that he hasn't talked about before. I think we did that. I think we accomplished that because he was going into some things I didn't even know he was going to talk about. So that was 100% totally worth it. I had to shake off a little bit of the nerves when we got started, but man, it was good. I had a great time on that one.
Rough coming out of the box, man. I feel like we snuck into pro practice.
Man, we're talking about practice.
All right, man. I got a hot date ahead of me, bro. What do you do?
I am on BMX. Danny Pena, BMX Racing on YouTube. BMX magazine reviews, BMX video reviews, all BMX content all the time. Please like and subscribe. We are at 978, I believe. So I had a good week with subscribers. Keep them going. We're almost to the goal.
Yep. And I just dropped Alan Foster's video today, so that's a good one, and it seems to be doing well. If you'd like to support the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You can go to BMXPERTSPodcast.com and grab some merch, a shirt, a hat. And until next week,
the track is
closed. Peace out, man.